Hello everyone. Sorry for being a bit late, I'm just eating at the minute. How's everyone? So Dave, I've mixed an old fashioned and 85 for Gambardine. Bring it on. Just going to make tea and get some cake. That's exactly what I was doing. I was making some tea. Coke is good, tea is better. Everything. Evening, where's the host? I'm here, Stan, how are you? Evening, Military Collectibles. Good evening, guys. Nick, how are you? I see our boy now like a prize fighter. His coach is giving advice as the shadow boxes. Prize. Oh, okay. So how is everyone anyway? Sorry, I'm just finishing a bit of toast. How's everyone's weekend going? Everyone having a good time? Start to Friday. Oh man. I've literally been. Do you ever have one of those days where you wake up in the morning and from the minute you wake up until the whole day you seem to be chasing yourself? Because that's the way I am today now. I seem to be constantly trying to sort myself out. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So so lads, did you see the last video actually, the unboxing? Got some fantastic Cold War stuff in that. Dave, he's there in the live stream. Yeah, he's there. Dave, bow, take a bow, Dave. Dave and another friend of mine up the north who likes to stay a bit private, so I understand that. Were looking for, or Dave sent me an email and said, "We will. Is there any chance of you, or would you like some stuff?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd love it, and I'll keep an eye out for things for you." So we did a bit of horse trading, and he found stuff for me, and then a lot of the stuff as well I got from a friend of mine in the north. But I'm absolutely ecstatic with it. I'm like, I could probably put a full mannequin together now at this stage of East German, and then I have my Bundeswehr one that I have already done. Andrew, how are you? I've already got my Bundeswehr one then that I could do a comparison video on. Like I like to have a, what's the word I'm looking for? I like to have a side by side, if you get me. So, like, with the vast majority of my collection, the op banner stuff is, you can, I suppose you could dress mannequins up as subversives, IRA, INLA, UVF, UDA, things like that. But in general, regular army. So, say if I'm collecting the First World War, which I used to do, and I still do, but not as much as I do on other things. But if I seen a First World War piece that I was interested in, I'd think about getting it. But I had my own Munster Fusiliers kit, and I used to have a German uniform as well to compare the two of them. Friends is good. Gasoline's better. Hi guys, here is to you. Here is to you. Howdy folks. So everyone's coming in now bit by bit. Yeah, so I'd like to do a comparison video of the two of them. Is there a bit of lag, guys? Because your questions seem to be coming up very late. I don't know, is my internet being a twat again? How's the sound actually? Because I know the sound was giving trouble before. Let there be light. That's very bright. Then we change the mood. Do some mood settings. That's better. There we go. Oh. So yeah. Sounds good. Perfect. But yeah, so that's what I'm thinking about doing with the Cold War stuff. And the side caps as well. I noticed with the side caps when I started looking into them, the East German ones anyway, not so much the West German ones, but the East German ones, they all slightly, there's a slight difference or a variant in them all. So that's very interesting. And I found out, I think it was Ralph. I know in the comments, I haven't answered the comments yet, but I did see it in the comments today. But somebody mentioned the one of the side caps has a date in it. If I can find them. There we go. I actually have the box here beside me. I haven't anything put away. But in the one of the side caps, if I can remember which one. Yeah, see here, it's marked 1945. Well, that's not actually the date. It's this letter. So there's forums, German forums and stuff, and Cold War forums, collectors forums, things like that. You put them up in the you can find out the date by the letter, which I didn't know. I did to a degree, but I had forgotten about it. But yeah, so no, we have. I have to put on my. I have to wear at least a drinking cap. No, this one's very small. What size is this? But I do have one that fits me better, because these are actually worn straight. They're not like the Second World War ones that are skewed like that. These are actually worn straight. And in keeping it with Stan's tradition, who wears his drinking jacket, we wear drinking caps here in Era Military Collectibles. Sounds good. The fella behind you is worrying me. But oh, this lad, yeah, he's that's why I have to talk nice about the DDR in case he hits me into the back of the head. Was I right actually with those silver shoulder boards with the red binding around them, or the red piping, sorry, around them? Are they Stasi? Because I remember vaguely seeing somewhere that if you've seen red piping on Russian stuff, it's KGB, and on East German stuff, it's Stasi. So I'm not sure. Can't remember. Could have been something stupid like American Pickers or something. I've seen that in, but I'm not sure. I just told someone off for weighing in my driveway. Some people. I hope you threw a bucket of water at him or something. David, quality David. I'd bore you to death with the DDR debt. Yeah, like it's interesting to learn a different era that you were never. I want to say never interested in it, but now that because of Stan, because of David, because of some other guys, they've sparked my interest in it, and I promised myself that I would concentrate on the Second World War stuff, but I did actually. I did technically. I got a belt and I got suspenders, braces, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, I'll have to have a chat with myself again and sort it out, and start talking to myself and tell me, calm down and start collecting what you're supposed to be collecting. But what was I was going to say? I was going to say that like the thing about it too is like there's some bits of that kit that I wanted, and there's other bits of it that I can trade. Not that there's anything wrong with the guys passing it on to me and stuff like that, but that's how a lot of, personally myself, that's how I like to collect. That's how I like to contribute back into the community, I suppose, of collecting, is when you have something and it doesn't spark your interest completely, pass it on, give it to somebody else, because that's what they might like. And I just think it's a way better system than just charging somebody, oh yeah, here, whatever, there's 7,000 euros for something or other. Where have we gone? KGB is dark blue. Maroon red is MVD, or Ministry of Internal Affairs, Police and National Guard, and OMA. Okay, cool. You can pinch and prick. You can pinch the peak of the side hat, like Papa Smurf, MVA. Yeah, I like the DDR stuff as it's affordable at the minute, and then you start looking into it. It's very interesting. Yeah, exactly. Right Rifle Green, just in from work. Welcome, Rifle Green. Welcome. Your morning, always welcome. Put on the kettle, make yourself a cup of tea. NB Artillery is red, and MFS National Security was crimson. I'm very bad with colours. If somebody said something to me like, that's grey. Okay, that's grey. Or then you have black. The wall is cream. So this is grey. Like, that's grey. This is grey. That's dark grey. This is light grey. Whereas everyone goes, oh, that's off shade of. This is battleship grey, and this is just grey is grey. I just not that I'm colourblind. I'm not colourblind because if I was colourblind, I wouldn't be allowed serving the forces. I don't know if that's still there today, but at my time, if you were colourblind was a big no-no. And you were right, Stan. The stuff is affordable. The East German stuff is affordable. I suppose that's what started slowing me down on the off-banner stuff. Now I have a huge off-banner collection. I could nearly probably do a museum on its own with the off-banner stuff. But the guy that I'm actually sending the stuff to, he runs a little museum beside the soldiers, like a Legion bar, I think it is. And he's got a little commemorations park there and a memorial park there. So I'm quite happy sending him stuff. It is what it is. But like the off-banner stuff, the price of the off-banner stuff over the last 3 years probably has gone absolutely phenomenal. The World War II stuff as well is phenomenal. Not that so it's hit and miss. The First World War stuff has always been high. And the Vietnam stuff, the Australian. That's why I collect an awful lot of the Australian bits, and I have an interest in the American stuff, but not so much as the Australian stuff. It's cheap enough. You can find it cheap enough on eBay and stuff like that, and it's all dated. And I have a friend of mine in Australia, Jake. Jack, sorry. He keeps an eye out for me, and hits me up every now and again, going, "I'm out finding this. I'm out finding that. Are you interested in it?" He's actually found me the chemical rain jacket, and like that, I'll get him to hold on to a few bits and pieces, try and put a package together and send it over then because it's cheaper for postage rather than. And he has no problem with doing that. He's happy with doing that. It's cheaper with postage. Where have we gone? May have an East German water bottle and bayonet and some. You're killing me, lads. Michael Holmes got timed out by Podrick. Good lads, what did he do? 1 second, I'll click it back. We find out what's going on. May have an East German. Sorry, NVA artillery is. Oh yeah, I read that one. May have an East German water bottle and a bayonet and some workers, military stuff. We'll give it a look. Yeah, perfect, Podrick. If you do, yeah, we can do a deal. I presume the belt that I got, the East German belt, that's not a weapon belt. I think that's just a working belt, is it? Not 100% sure. As I said, I'm very, very new to the East and West German stuff. So I unlike off-banner, unlike World War II and the First World War, where I would have a good knowledge of stuff, I'm still learning with this, and I quite happily admit it. And I'll probably put it on a mannequin once or twice and be told, that's wrong, this is wrong, that's wrong, sort it out. Which is, I don't have an issue with that neither. That's how people learn. Where have we gone? I was at Whiteby War weekend just a few days ago. Bought a pair of DDR gloves, these strange 3-finger mitten things, but they are very cheap. Yeah, exactly. Where have we gone, Dave? I was on the ground floor in the 90s for the NVA collecting a long time ago. Oh, so you were one of the originals, shall we say? Must have been given away prices then. It was. I can remember going to military shows when I was younger. I suppose my dad would have brought me in the late. would have been a teenager, would have been around 93, 94, 95, that type of lineage. And you'd see those East German, I can't see actually, the East German officers' caps, £2 or £3 at the time because we were in pounds. Punts, you'd pick up one of them for £1 maybe. There was everybody had the West German parkas, West German shirts, West German pants. They were everywhere. They were the thing of the 80s and the 90s. These cold, especially in Ireland, these cold weather parka jackets. I've shown one on a video of my Bundeswehr shoulder. If you go into Mannequins on Parade on that playlist, he's in there. But everybody had those bloody jackets, those parka jackets in the 80s and 90s. And they were cheap. I think they were probably about £10 or £15. You would have got one of them. Where have we gone? The raindrop mitts are an OR thing. Officers had plastic leather gloves. Oh, okay. I think that's something interesting. No, I didn't know. Was talking waffle, poor lad's brain. Fair enough. Still understand. Yeah, it was a happy time. Yeah, that's cool. My DDR border guard should have open neck tunic and tie, but I like it buttoned up. Yeah, like I mean, there's nothing to say that the guy wouldn't have had his tunic buttoned up on a night shift or whatever like that. Soldiers, you'd be surprised. Soldiers are supposed to look the same. Or soldiers uniformity, obviously, it's in the name. But certain guys will push the boundaries. They'll try to be that little rebel, that individual, and they'll have different characteristics with their uniform. And it could be simple things, the way they fold their shirt, the way they might push the boundary and try and have their beret shaped a different way and things like that. So it is very interesting. And to a certain degree, there is like, yes, you can have uniformity for being on a parade, being in front of a colonel, a general, or whoever, and you're standing there nice and shiny and polished. But in the field and on duty and things like that, guys would push the boundaries, especially boots. Guys in that I knew, that I served with, we would very rarely, when we were on the field or when we were in out of the camp, very few of us actually wore the issued boots that we were given. We'd all wear our own. We'd all have our own, and at that time too in recruit training, I suppose it's the same for a lot of soldiers when they're in recruit training. The amount of money you spend when you're in recruit training on kit that should be given to you, but it's crap. So you go to the army surplus, you go to the outdoor shop, or you go online, or well, we didn't have online back then, but you buy it. Like I can remember buying an entire set of green PLC webbing because you keep one set good and then the other set you'd adjust because it'd save you having to take, would say, you wouldn't need your respirator, so you'd have to take off your respirator off your good set. You wouldn't need whatever. You might have to take off one ammo pouch, put on another ammo pouch, and then to try and keep it clean as well. So 90% of us, definitely in my old unit, 90% of us in the infantry were buying complete sets of webbing, boots, the DPM rain gear, Gore-Tex rain gear, the British had. We would all buy that because the crap we had at the time was like oilskins, green oilskin type stuff, and it was brutal. We used to get the smaller snug because our sleeping bags were huge. They were big Arctic sleeping bags, and if they were fine during the winter, but on a summer exercise, you would sweat to death in them. So we used to buy what was called a Softy 3. It was a small, tiny little sleeping bag. Soft shell jackets, things like that. We spend a fortune on kit. Hello, Sir Ralph. How are you? Where have we gone? Oh yeah, sorry. Back to questions there. I need to answer. My DDO. Oh, I gotta answer that one. The grey belt is a combat belt. NVA field equipment will cause you to use sexual swear words to describe how good it is. Its functions as designed. It is best to explain it. Okay, and I'm gonna have to. Obviously, I'm gonna have to start putting bloody webbing together now as well for the East German Army. I have one set for the West German Army. Ralph, hello. How are you, sir? Hello, Ralph. I was just watching Felton, Felton when I saw you. Oh, okay. David, were not some dress tunics worn with shirts? You would see fellas hairy chested. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that's the pushing the boundaries. Lads wouldn't tie their top buttons and stuff like that. Mike Fulton top videos. Yeah, you wear the tie and shirt with parade uniform or walking out uniform, or for a Grenzer, I probably pronounced that wrong. When a crossing point, special occurrence. Okay, David. Cheers. Yeah, great info. I'm still finding my way through. I'll get there in the end. At the minute, I just try to set up and it looks right to me. Yeah, exactly. That's it. I'm still learning. I have done a bloody clue so half the time what I'm talking about when it comes to East and West German stuff. I go off of what other people tell me, until I'm told different information. That's fine. Your new East German Army Air Force officer's cap is not complete. You must have a badge with cross sword. Yeah, I was told that. Where's it gone? This one. This is apparently missing a badge that should be down here. Now somebody was saying it was Luftwaffe, that there should be Luftwaffe wings there. I did find a date on it. It's 1978. You see it? No, I probably can't see it. But it is 1978, and it's actually named to the chap as well. But I will find a use for this. Now it's very small. It's a 55 or a 56 or something. Whereas I'm normally a 57 standard issue head. But yeah. Is it an officer's cap or another rank's cap? Because I know I suppose all you have to do is change the chin strap. Because I know the officers wear like that piping type braided one. See the way I think it's the same for both armies. This is an officer's one. This is an enlisted man's one with the black chin strap. Where have we gone? What does you can wear in open at the neck, hence the undershirt with the V-neck. That actually, I wore this last night. I tried on the stuff; it fits me. First of all, so we could end up reenacting bloody East German stuff now as well. But I tried this one. This is the undershirt thing I think that Dave was talking about. Bloody hell, this is warm. I literally put this on and I was wearing it around and I was doing a few bits and pieces and stuff like that. I had to take it off after about 20 minutes because it is actually warm. And I'm not sure the material of it. It's a very, very, no, probably because it's just been well used, but it is it feels like a very, very soft cotton. Very comfortable, very comfortable. If himself allow you, ask him for a contact. I can assist in the name of recovering state property. Yeah, lads, if any of you want information or you want to get in contact with a different guy, you can come through me. Send me an email. I know Nick is there. Nick was there somewhere. If some guys want to get in contact with me directly, that's fine. But if you want to get in contact with Ralph or Dave or whatever, send me an email. I'll ask the lads, is it okay if I send on your email? And off we go. So, there we go. Where are we gone a second now? Still finding my way through, okay? Your East German Air Force cap is not complete. Must have, yeah, I read that one. If himself allow you, ask him to contact for a contact, like an assistant. Oh, okay, I read that one. Looks like a traffic warden's cap. It does look like a traffic warden cap. Remember on the buses years ago? A lot of you are probably too young to remember on the buses. Stan and military collectibles and some of the lads there probably remember on the buses, but that was how the bus conductor used to wear his hat. I think it was a 70s, 60s or 70s show. I'm not sure. What is name in the Luftwaffe cap? No officer in the West German army had a leather chin strap. The name is WKON, or it could be an R. Yeah, that's it. There's the name. Stay on my nails. I need to clean my fingers. I was doing some work around the house. My nails are absolutely black. No. Did you get the officer's name? You did. Consider DDR era sling for bodyguard. Or slang for. Okay, perfect. I don't send the draws, really. Draws? I'm not sure. I decided to wear one of my. Or the drawers, sorry. Well, if they're as comfortable as the shirt, they'd be fine. I decided to wear one of my World War II Portuguese implements for 10 minutes, very comfortable and compact. On the bus is one for the teenagers. Yeah, there's a few lads now I'd say don't know it. Yeah, do you want me to show you it again there, Ralph? There you go. Let's give that a second there so Ralph can see it. Yeah, after on the buses. We keep talking about TV shows, but there was like I was watching Are You Being Served there the other day on one UK Gold or one of these channels, and I was just thinking to myself, oh my god, you wouldn't get away with what they're doing on that show, what they do now. Like, Dale, hello, how are you? So, an interesting photo of lots of Soviet Red Republic, lots of Southern Soviet republics used raindrop camo after 1991, likely to make their armies look non-Russian. Ex-DDR and local purchases in the 90s, Northern Alliance too. Yeah, I suppose getting back to Op Banner, they were famous for using the UVF or the UFF, which is sorry for this now, but for want of a better word, it is a Protestant militant paramilitary group that was in Northern Ireland at the time of the Troubles. They were famous for using Italian surplus camouflage. I can't remember the pattern of it, but if you look up this group on any photos, where they're in parade or in training or whatever, where they're wearing a so-called uniform, it seems to be this Italian camouflage that they're wearing. Whereas on the other side, they wore anything you could get their hands on. The M65 is it the M65 or the M69? American combat jacket was very, very popular with them. The West German parka actually was very popular with them. And then like that as well, again, they would wear British. You'd see them wearing British DPM stuff when they needed to wear DPM stuff or camouflage stuff. Rifle Green, if he's still around there, he'd probably know better than I would, in relation to some of the little nuances that the paramilitaries used to have up there, because he's from that area, whereas I'm not. I get taught this by different guys, but I do know certain things. But it's like everything else. If you live there, or if you grew up part of it, you come accustomed to certain things that outsiders, people that are studying the histories, definitely like me and Stan and Military Collectibles and Jake Brown or any of these lads, they are they grew up with the knowledge, whereas we're learning the knowledge, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. Where have we gone? It's not the post-war Luftwaffe officer's cap from Fighter 8. Oh, okay, so it's not a fighter's. That would have been nice, but oh well. Hello everyone, I'm late to I was late eating dinner. No, there's no hassle, lads. Um, is the 8 o'clock on a Friday a bit dodgy for you? Do you want to change the time for some guys? Would some guys like to change? Jeez, I can't talk tonight. Would some guys like the time changed? The CRO forces during the unpleasantness in the former Yugoslavia were a lot of Ernst Camo and NBA. Yeah, that's interesting. US. Oh yeah, thanks, Ralph. I knew somebody had passed it on to me. The little medal that I have, it's a fairly new enough medal, but it's the War on Terrorism medal. Um, War on Global Terrorism. Actually, Ralph has it just wrote there. It is the medal. It is the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal. Fairly recent medal, yeah. So there's probably tons of them around the place. But I like that. It's a nice place for someone to start. A young guy, kid, teenager, whatever. Nice thing to have in their collection, nice thing to start with. So, as I said, I don't really collect medals, but I have it there for swap, trade, piece of interesting piece to talk about. I suppose actually, the way things Afghanistan and stuff have gone, I can see that stuff getting very collectible. Apparently, somebody was telling me apparently the Afghan National Police, Afghan national uniforms, or anything to do with the Afghan army in relation to collecting their uniforms, any type of memorabilia with them. Excuse me. Has gone absolutely berserk. Apparently, the lads were saying it's gone nuts. Apparently, it's been bought over the wall suppliers and things like that. I think people, uh, immediately think of jeans and DPM. DPM was really more rain pants and a warm pants. Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. Um, isn't that why the Germans stopped supplying that stuff because of the situation in Ukraine? I don't know. No. Somebody told me as well that the reason that the Germans have sort of calmed down on their selling stuff surplus is because they don't have conscription anymore. Um, whereas there was why there was a massive surplus there before was because they had conscription. But I don't know. Uh, and earlier during the unpleasantness in the Balkans, or during the unpleasantness in the Balkans, as everyone was buying in German stores. Yeah, exactly. Some of the dissident Republicans were partial to wear British NBC suits Mark III's and Mark IV jackets. Did not know that. No, I did not know that. I knew there were. It was common to see them in British DPM jackets. All right. And a friend of mine used to tell me as well. You'd see them walking around with their Coleman's caps, or what was basically a balaclava that they've rolled up into the shape of a cap. Um, and then they'd walk whatever on a doing something that they shouldn't have been doing, or walking somewhere they shouldn't have been walking, doing to a target or a job or whatever way you want to put it. And when they were out of sight, then they'd pull this down that it was a balaclava, um, do what they had to do, and then they'd roll it back up quick and carry on. So yeah, I suppose it's a common knowledge that things like that did. Yeah, but according to the American Medal Expert Veterans Medals Workshop MOP, past the US medal is quite special. Oh, really? I didn't know that now. Oh, fair enough. Isn't illegal to wear German uniforms in Germany? It is illegal to wear Waffen. It is illegal to wear the special cross, shall we say. It is illegal to display the special salute. It is illegal to do anything pretty much with the Wehrmacht after World War II. World War II specific. That party specifically. Anything in relation to that is illegal in the US or in Germany. So that's why you see an awful lot of stuff being sanitized, with the cross being covered, with the initials being covered, with the names being covered. That is illegal. In Ireland, it is illegal. Technically, it is illegal to own the Irish DPMs. It is illegal to own a police uniform. it is illegal to have a prison officer's uniform unless you are one of those members. So there are little laws. Like you do need to learn things like that when you start collecting. When not serving. Sorry, I missed one, did I? It's illegal. Oh yeah, sorry. It's illegal to wear German uniforms in Germany when not serving. Okay. A big makes Bundy kit Right House is it has been passed out of service. Sorry? A big makes Bundy kit righteous as to have been passed out. Oh yeah, exactly. So I mean to have it worn, to have it used and stuff is cool as well. I have seen that on equipment. A big A Max Bundy kit. Oh, so that's what that is. Where are my side caps at? So that's what that A means. That it's been sold off. Ah, okay. Where are my other caps? You have me interested now. You have me interested now. I don't have one in that one. But yeah. This one fits me better anyway. Gone. I was watching your RUC uniform video the other day. I was wondering if the shirt under the tunic was one with the radio dock on it or without. You're talking about the little tabs up here for to connect your radio. I'm not sure. Let's have a quick look. That one anyway is the one without. I think I do have one with it on, but those shirts are actually getting very hard to get now. That I've only got 3 of them. There's one in that mannequin. There's one in that mannequin. And I still have one in the plastic, so that's special. I'm not actually going to open that because they are actually hard to get. The crooked cross and Olympic statue is troublesome. Yeah, really. There's a few things that even to mention on YouTube will get you flagged. Yes, that's been one. The probably doesn't matter. Anything to relation to do with that party. To display a pew pew and not say whether it is deactivated or whatever, that'll get you flagged as well. So you have to be very careful about things like that. Kenny Rebel World War II Wehrmacht uniforms may be worn in Germany and Austria provided that they do not have the swastikas on them, only in reenactment occasions. Okay, that's very good, Ralph. That's interesting to know. I meant current issue kit. Oh, issued kit. Okay. A is the marking. Cool. Some things have a hole punched through. Other, like leather boots. What, to decommission them? The shirts are quite rare. I have one with the radio tabs and I managed to get the button epaulets also. The button epaulets are hard. They are hard, especially to get them with. You can get different ones. You can get ones with the metal numbers on them, and you can get ones with embroidered numbers. The embroidered numbers was like a private purchase thing, I believe, and they're harder to get than the metal number ones, believe it or not. So yeah, there we go. Is the U.S. Global War on Terrorism Expedition Medal named? No, I couldn't find a name on it. I didn't look actually, to tell you the truth. And I don't know, it's buried down in here in a bag somewhere, in the box somewhere. I'll find out and I'll let you know. World War Bricks, hello, how are you? Call it the runes. That is what reenactors call. Oh, okay, very good. In Germany, the World War II cross and Waffen runes are seen as anti-constitutional emblems. They don't refer to them as emblems of the Nazi era. It's as if they are denying they recently. Yeah, it's I suppose like that. It's trying to clear history, trying to wipe history, um, which you can't do, I suppose. Mine has sergeant chevrons, but the number on mine aren't the issued ones. Still looking out for them. Yeah, they're getting harder to get those as well. I've only one set of them, and that's the only tunic I have with proper numbers on it. I have numbers, but I don't have the matching corresponding one. The B special ones, if you can find the B special ones, ooh, that's harder to get. Very hard to get the B special ones. Sorry, Ralph asked me a question there about that medal. Where did I put the medal? Let's see. Can I find it and see is there a name on it? And, sorry, guys, just give me 1 second, please. Right, there it is. In a little evidence bag. So this is the medal we're talking about. No, there's nothing on the back anyway. I should have looked at the back of it because it's actually written on it. War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal. It needs a good clean. And that's the front. Where would it be named? Would it be on the edge or would it be... As I said, I don't collect medals really. So I'm not sure. There seems to be some type of number on the back of the bar though. There is actually a number there on the bar. But it's very faint. I think it's 087 or something like that. Or 627. I'll have to give it a clean and find out. But yeah. That's my little medal. Well, I feel sad too that guys like hand in their medals like that. Because they're hard enough to get, hard enough to earn. And then we have my Polish. I was right, these are Polish. Rank markings. So, it could be another area of Cold War history that I could delve down along. Sorry, where have I gone? Sorry, lads, I'm just trying to find where I was. It's not. It's not named. World War Bricks. Hello, Call it the Runes. Okay. Sergeant Chevrons. The PSNI white shirts did have the loops, not the RUC shirts. The radio mic clipped onto the body armor, flak jackets in the RUC. Okay. Just mixed another old fashioned. David's hitting it hard tonight. Nice going, Ralph. Yes, never careful war on nouns, verbs. Nouns always win. Yeah, you have to be careful what you say. Some people can take offense. I'm not going there. I just don't believe that everyone else needs to take okay, now this is going to sound a bit right wing and a bit nuts, but I'm trying not to. I understand everyone has an opinion. I understand everyone has the right to do something or other. But don't shove your opinion down my neck, and I'm not going to shove my opinion down your neck. You can agree to disagree, is what I'm trying to say. Does that sound less militant, I suppose? Do you think you'll be joining a World War One group again? I possibly will be, but I like to try and mingle. I like to try and mix because when you do get into reenacting, I don't know if there's any of the lads there that are reenacting. Dave probably did and stuff like that. But you can get a lot of clash of personalities, and then you can get an awful lot of clash of groups. So say one group doesn't like to talk to the other group. This group doesn't like to talk to that group. This group thinks they're doing it wrong. That group thinks they're doing it right. Try and stay away from that. It does happen, unfortunately, but try and stay away from it. Military Collectibles doing a trip to Munich years ago. Can a tour the guide kept referring to the 1933-45 period as Hitler regime, which I thought odd. Yeah, there are some people that just don't want to believe in history books. The number is most likely a serial number. Oh, okay, very good. So we might have something done. Rifle green are the early ones. I've seen PS9 shirts with the radio loops at an angle. They also have holes in the pocket for the name badge. Question. I don't know if anyone can answer it. What is the okay? I presume there's a law, or there's because they're a current service and stuff like that. I presume there's issues with collecting PSNI memorabilia, and I just want to know that because it would be a continuation from the RUC, I suppose. But I presume it's illegal, or I presume it's not done at the moment. But we'll wait and see. Don't polish that. No, I won't polish that metal. It should be kept with the patina. I won't polish it, but I will give it a rub of a toothbrush and a earbud just to try and take off the heavy dirt. But I won't polish it or anything like that. The metal numbers have to be handed back. Oh, okay, so that's why they're very hard to find. My RUC numbers passed over and I still have them. Okay, very cool. I didn't know that now. I didn't know the metal numbers had to be handed back. The one I have on that is 4134. So whoever officer or constable 4134 is, you're in trouble. You never hand back your numbers. Sorry, lads. Jesus, stuff's coming in hot and heavy. Maybe traceable by the number via the number. I don't know. I could find out. Rifle green. I read that wrong. Okay. Steelhammer stand in Germany. The Third Reich is a taboo as hell. Yeah, it is very taboo. Word, David, how are you? I was referring more to the war on terror, not the ruins. Oh, okay. World War bricks. I'm looking into joining the Irish Great War Society once I get my uniform and kit. I know some of the lads in the Great War Society. They're good guys. They are good guys. Was actually a group that I was part of. Dale, I've seen sellers sell PSNI uniforms without patches in shops, but I'm not too sure. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know because that was one of the tactics that was used in Off Banner. Was they would rob laundries and rob people's houses to steal the uniforms so they could infiltrate or use it on assassination targets and things like that. It was a tactic that was used. Was they would dress. I think it was did they attack a checkpoint? I know they attacked the barracks in the 50s dressed as British soldiers, walked in, cleared out the armory and walked back out again. That was the IRA that did that. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Role acting as I understand, and very true. I worked there in 89-90 and saw a few leftovers from the period in some architectural things unbelievably, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, they do try to brush over that and whitewash it, which is wrong if you ask me. But if you don't learn from your history will repeat itself. Have more than one declaration of interest allow you to have flexibility. Having one more direction of interest, more flexibility, and allow you to step back and improve you're wearing military garments of an obsolete period. Yeah, like the East German stuff and the West German stuff now at the minute. I was watching documentaries. So I go through things like that. Like that's what this one is like First World War, Second World War, Vietnam, hot banner, and bloody no Cold War. But I could be flicking around on YouTube, or I could be flicking around on eBay or something like that, and I'd spot something that would perk my interest. So I would say if I was watching a documentary on YouTube or Netflix or wherever I was watching the documentary, that would perk me to go onto eBay to go look for a piece of that period, to have a piece of that period or whatever. I don't know what way you want to say it. And then once I had that done, it would be a few days or a few weeks of focusing on that period. Then, like that, something else would twerk my interest. I'd spot a banner item, and then I'd go back into watching that banner stuff again. So that's how I sort of do it. And it's hard to explain, but yeah. Gone. If you get a statement from the superintendent, you must be able to say that you had legal authority to do it. I know a few museums have. Yeah, you can have Irish DPM, and you can have military police stuff and prison stuff with permission, and that stuff is actually recorded, so they know it's there. So if it gets stolen, then they know where it is. If you get me. But yes, you are right. Yeah, you will be doing the 2nd Battalion Irish Guards. I remember we were talking about that. That you have a family member that was Irish Guards. I heard a story about a fella who snuck into an unmanned Garda station and stole 2 Garda hats. He had drink taken, of course. He was arrested in Strabane wearing the hat. Oh God, like tomfoolery, things like that. I mean, there was no badness in it, if you get me. It was just probably a dare or something. But yeah, sorry, I spelled Ralph wrong. In my last comment, I was being attacked by a cat. Oh, I thought the DDRT was kicking in. Should have put some special stuff into this for DDRT. But oh well. I can't anyway. I have to be up early in the morning. I've stuff to do. But one advantage is then this term. Then I can't even pronounce that word. German medals cost a fraction of those with complete cooker cost. Oh, okay. Oh, I understand what you're saying. So stuff that's been neutralized or stuff that's been cleaned. It's okay. Okay, I understand now what you're saying. It is good that some PSNI officers have been able to get their parents' old RUC shoulder numbers. Yeah, Gough Barracks, Armagh, 1950s, weapons stolen. Yeah, the IRA walked in as that would be actually cool. Sorry, I just go back to the first part of that question, or the first part of that comment. That would be cool actually, to have your grandparents' medal or your grandparents' number, your father's number, we'll say, or your mother's number, and then for it to be your number. That would actually be cool. That would be. I'd find that now class. Yeah, Gough Barracks, Armagh. They broke in, dressed as British soldiers, and cleaned out the armory. I think it was an Irish regiment too. Was it the Irish Fusiliers or something like that? And I think that regiment got disbanded not long after it, because they were afraid that there was sympathisers in that regiment. It is a sickness, but it is a very sweet one. Yeah, it is a sickness. It is a sickness, and I am enjoying the sickness, and I will keep enjoying the sickness. The only cure is to buy more. Exactly, that's it. Just can't beat them, join them, as I say, isn't it? I remember the Crooked Cross is still visible, but sanitized off to an extent. But the Burdenhof and Customs House in the docks, I don't believe was blocked up until the 2000s. Oh, okay, that's very interesting. I've never actually been to Berlin. I have been to Germany, but I've never been to Berlin. Cats are little thugs. I need to get to Germany. Currently on eBay for sale due to a divorce. 1943, 25-pounder field gun, 11,500 bucks. Should we buy two of them? That sucks having to sell up your collection because of a split like that. David, yes, indeed, yeah. The IRA sneaked into the police station in 1992 and entered the special branch officers and removed all the files. I do remember something about that as well. One thing about those lads, they have brass necks on them. I will say that they do have brass necks on them. Oh my God. The collecting of Bundeswehr reduced World War II medals and badges awards is interesting. Okay, regarding badges, I don't know. For some reason, I don't like collecting medals. Just too easy to forge, I suppose. If you get me. I don't know. Military collectibles. Haha. I am going to bid. Only joking. Jesus, if you could afford even the price of Willys Jeeps. I was looking at Willys Jeeps on Millweb or Milltech or something. I can't remember the name of the website. They sell military vehicles because I would love to. I know I can't afford it at the moment, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to afford it. But I'd love to have a Snatch Land Rover from the north with the body armor kit and the whole lot on it. Even if I got one to do as a project, a long-term project, but that would be my piece de resistance and my op banner collection, I believe. If I could ever get one. 1979 regulations of the Bundeswehr cover, I believe. 25-pounder would look amazing in the garden. Sorry, I missed one there, did I? Steel helmets stand better. The cat. What is attacking you? Than a mad dog? Yeah. Have you seen the new PSNI uniform? I haven't seen the new PSNI uniform actually, to tell you the truth. That was Castle Blaze Station. Oops, Royal Irish Fusiliers. Fusiliers Goff is now a PSNI station. So it was said if the PSNI had a new uniform, so the previous uniform that they have be okay to have. Do you understand what I mean? So it would be it wouldn't be the current service dress uniform. So therefore it would be out of service. So then that one would be okay to have compared to the other one. I don't know. I must do a bit of investigation. Do you know what an interesting collecting area is? 57-year types of German medals usually worn by the Wehrmacht veterans or veterans meeting. I don't know. I don't know much about medals. I don't have an interest in collecting medals, to tell you the truth. But I do understand why guys do it. I think an awful lot of guys, unfortunately, or some people, not a lot of people, but some people, find medals as a way of making money, which I don't like. Whereas they'll find a medal in an antique shop or a car boot sale or something, do a bit of research on it. They might buy it in the car boot sale for a $5 or $10 or whatever. Do 20 minutes, half an hour's research when they get home on the number or on the name on the medal, and then add 200 or 300 euros that are even sterling to put it up in eBay and sell it off. That's sort of bugs me a small bit about the medal type collecting, because I don't believe guys actually collect them for the sake of collecting them. They collect them for some guys genuinely do collect them for the history and to make sure that those people that won those medals aren't forgotten. But I think there's an awful lot of people in that side of military that's after the shekel. I do that often go on eBay and see something I fancy, usually a helmet. A lot of my helmets are just ones that took my fancy. Yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, it's like, I think the reason, and I do have them, and there will be a video coming up on them, my Israeli berets, was because how I got interest in that was from serving overseas in Lebanon. We'd see the Israelis, and it was nice to know who we were looking at. So you'd see them wearing their berets on their shoulders. So I just somehow managed to start collecting them, and I managed to put together a collection for every unit that was in the Israeli army. So yeah, so that's how my beret collection, or my Israeli beret collection, started. Anyway, so yeah, I will put in the hallway point. I will put in the hallway point of the door for when something comes. Oh, for when you're talking about the 25-pounder. Yeah, have it out in the garden for the postman and tell him to keep away with all the bills. I don't think so. They are keeping the shirts, trousers, and hats for dress uniform. Oh, okay. I don't know. I just thought about that before, that it would be nice to have the RUC. I was contemplating it because they're very hard to get. I was going to get a reproduction RIC uniform, which would have been the predecessor to the RUC. I was going to get the RIC uniform, my RUC uniform, and then I was going to see if I could get a PSNI uniform and have like a timeline pretty much of the three of them. But I don't think I don't think that can be done yet at the moment, because I don't think you can get PSNI stuff. Flak jackets may be getting changed, so I think they're grand. Oh, okay, very good. I may have one or two contacts that I can email and find out what's the story. I have my relatives' World War I medals. After that, I have a case of British medals and a case of German medals. Small cases, by the way, outside that. I don't mind collecting medals outside the mainstream of interest. Oh, okay, that's very good, Stan. I just yeah, medals just don't tickle my fancy, I suppose. Is it Lord Ashcott's who has the massive war? Yeah, it is Lord Ashcott. He collects VC George Cross military medals, and there's another gallantry medal that he collects, but he has the biggest collection of VCs in the world. The circle of the old vets of the Bundeswehr is an interesting regard NATO history. Okay, I must look that up. New PS9 uniform is coming out in June 2022. The new body armor is made by Source, the same company that has the UK contract. Very good. UK military contract. Okay, very good. Rifle Green, if you can swap me or throw me an email. I think I emailed you, or didn't I email you before? I know we have corresponded in the past, but I'm just trying to remember what the last email was about. But in relation to how could you get a PSNI uniform if it was at all possible to get a PSNI uniform? And I'm not saying that you may be able to get a PSNI uniform, but you may have the knowledge of somebody that could get a PSNI uniform. But yeah, just let me know. Can you get an old PSNI fleeces on eBay? They are obsolete, so I think they can be owned. Possibly. I don't know, to tell you the truth. Do you still need a complete DDR ribbon bar? I don't actually need a DDR. I do, but like, if you want to send me a DDR ribbon bar, if you want to donate a DDR ribbon bar, or if you would like me to buy a DDR ribbon bar, that is completely up to you, Ralph. Drop me an email. But I did get Dave did send me a ribbon bar with photocopies of ribbons, so I'm going to try and see, can I fit them in the DDR bar. Where did I put that pretty bag? Oh, it's here. Actually, while you're here, these shoulder boards are extremely interesting to me, and I'm just wondering, do you know what they are? And that is those ones. If you can see them, there's like a silver flake through them. David, you'd know because I hope you know because you sent them. Those shoulder boards I find very interesting. I'd like to know what they are. And the shoulder boards that actually came on the tunic. And I don't know if they're like a tactical version, but they're completely subdued. And if I remember this piping around here, it was to mark for an NCO. If I am correct, I am not sure. So yeah. So if you know what that one is, or where do we go? That one is, please let me know. Because they're quite unusual. I'm just wondering, are they like tactical type ones? It looks like Sturm. Okay. What's the Sturm Altibelang? I might need to sort out my German. But I don't think they're issued because, or I don't think they've ever been worn because they just don't look worn. But they're I like them. They're nice. I wonder if DDR soldiers who served in World War II were allowed anything on their ribbon bar where any decorations recognized from World War II in the DDR. I don't know actually, to tell you the truth. That is very good. Stormtroopers, SS Stormtroopers. Oh, okay. So this is Stormtroopers. Oh, very good. They are subdued compared to dress ones. Okay. They are subdued for FDA. Okay. Very cool. I like that. They're nice. And this actually, which is, I think is even better, it actually came with its shirt line, or its collar liner. It's a nice little touch that you wouldn't think of. And it's fairly clean too. World War II vets in the DDR would have been phased out as quickly as possible. Okay. I know the officers, the Wehrmacht officers and stuff like that, in the West German army were okayed, if you get me. They were let carry on. I don't know about the East German army, but I know in the West German army they were when they refloated the West German army, which was in the 50s. Some officers from the old Wehrmacht, that's how they started off the rank structure again. My tea has gone cold. So lads, we've been on an hour. It is now 21:13. So we'll give it till 9:30 as always. And if any of you want to think of any of your final bombarding questions, you can throw them at me. You're more than welcome. I'm just going to give you a little tip of Sunday's video that is coming up. If any of you know what that regiment is, that is Sunday's video, or a part of Sunday's video. So stay tuned and watch out. The FDA rank is under officer, so I think that's like under officer is like a sergeant. I think if I remember, senior sergeant, something like that. Under officer. I do remember some German from when I was in school. Of course, there were all Wehrmacht soldiers in the GDR army, but they were no longer allowed to wear the Third Reich insignia. Okay. Like the who was it was telling me? I think it was David as well, actually. A way to tell the German buttons post-war and pre-war is they all have the like little dots on them, but in the World War II variant, you don't have the border, whereas after World War II you have like a border around the edges. So that's a way of telling the buttons as well apart. And when you go into that detail, that's where I find things interesting. But especially with the German World War Two stuff, is you have literally, oh, that's the wrong stitch, that's the wrong button. They're whew. Um, I will so bore you with NVA history. I warned you, you fellas in the chat are my witnesses. Yeah, he did warn you. He did warn you. The PSNI auctioned some items such as public order helmets, fleeces, caps without badges, public order stuff. These end up on sale. Oh, okay. And what's the story with the badge then? Could you get a badge? Could you get a badge off someone or have a badge made or whatever to put on a on? Because I know I have seen PSNI caps for sale, and I've often wondered that. Whereas they literally, it's like they took a pliers and just pulled the emblem off, but the metal backing is still left on the cap. So I've wondered that. Uncle Diarmuid's regiment on Sunday night. Carry on, David. I'm all ears. Yeah, so I have wondered that about the PSNI because I think it'd be nice. I think it'd be nice to have like a timeline of the force because that's its lineage. But the West German army officers' buttons from the resemble World War II period buttons. Okay, so you can still okay. As I said, I'm still learning about German stuff. Most that would have served in WM would not have returned until 1955 from the Gulag. They were likely kept for a wee time for constructing the NVA, but once their use was no more, they would be left go. Probably. I did read. I was sorry. It was a German fighter race from the Second World War, and I think he was the highest German fighter race. He had 300 something kills apparently, but he fought on the Eastern Front. When the war surrendered, or when the war was over, they were ordered to surrender to the Americans. So they surrendered to the Americans. The Americans handed him back over to the Russians. The Russians found out who he was and his kill ratio pretty much. And they sent him to a gulag, and then he wasn't released from the gulag until the 50s. After Russia needed a trade deal with the West or something like that. So that was part of the deal to release these guys, and he actually became a test fighter pilot for the West German Army. The Bundy in the late 50s turned all fascist awards into ribbons to be worn on service dress. Okay, didn't know there was something else I didn't know. And the webbing belt was that. And the webbing belt has a pebble finish on the East German or the West German. I'm not sure. Oh, this one has a pebble finish on the West German anyway. Or sorry, East German. It's the East German. I can't remember if the one on my other one has. Podrick, what about the ones captured in the West but returned to the East for whatever reason? Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Guys that were from the West but had been captured in the East, what would have happened to them? Yeah. Flee while you can, Stan, flee. He's going to bombard you with questions, or bombard you with answers. Eric Hartman. Yeah, that was the chap, actually, I think, Stan. It is the exact same with the NBA troops and in the BA Bundeswehr. Okay, cool. Okay. West German. Okay. Show the East German belt buckle one more time, Mr. Shanahan. The World War II Luftwaffe once had no pedals on them. Oh. that's the back of it. I was trying to see actually was there a maker's mark on it, but I can't find one. So I don't know. I like this style of belt. It's a very good system. The way that you can shorten it quickly and lengthen it quickly. I like this style of belt. And it looks sort of dressy too. Where have we gone? The early PSNI caps had metal badges and were replaced with an embroidered badge. Health and safety. Oh yeah. I can remember as well that the lads, the guards here down south used to wear steel toe cap boots. And then they were told they couldn't wear steel toe cap boots because somebody may have gotten a kick from a steel toe cap boot, and they were told no, they couldn't have steel toe cap boots, so they had to get composite toed boots, which is pretty much the same bloody thing, which is ridiculous. But yeah, there you go. To be honest, most Nazis in WM, that's true. To be honest, lads, most Nazis in WM were likely treated all the same unless they had they were highly valuable. Okay, that's understandable. I was going to enhance your RUC uniform video with extra information. Yeah, perfect, man. Yeah, any information at all. As I said, I don't um try to portray that I know everything. I don't know everything. If you have information, send me information. All the better. I even better, lads. I would be really happy with that. So yeah, if you want to bombard my video with information, bombard it. I have no problem with that whatsoever. The prisoner gag was you. The prisoner gag was you held. You were held by who you were last fighting. Oddly, you wanted to fight the British and Americans. Yeah, but they did. This Air Force unit were fighting the Americans at the time, and they were told to surrender. And when they surrendered, then the Americans handed them back over to the Russians. Padraig, yeah, the NVA were mostly cast aside after reunification. No pensions or anything. Although I think this has been addressed at some extent later on. That would have been a kicking, and you know what's to have all your stuff gone. I do believe some could return to the West if they were high ranked enough, pleaded, but many settled and died in Eastern. Oh, that's so sad. I think you have a DDR man belt. Don't put it on the mannequin behind you. Oh no, it's not going on the mannequin. It's going to be on the camouflaged dude when I have him finished. I do know that's a leather belt. Should be a brown leather belt on him with a buckle, silver buckle. Military collectibles, message retracted. Okay, you can send me whatever message you want. Military collectibles, DDR enlisted as well. Yeah, I understood what you mean. Some units and Warsaw Pact gear were kept for a while, but over time it was all sold to Africa or new Eastern NATO countries. Yeah, the Irish Army sold when we changed from the 303s to the FNs or the SLRs, depending where you want to go, what you want to call them. The 303s, the Mark IV 303s, were sent to India, sold to India. Then when we got rid of the FNs, they kept some of them, and the rest were sold to Sri Lanka or someplace like that. I think when we got the Steyrs. Yeah, so they do sell off stuff, but they don't sell off surplus. If you get me. And they won't sell it to the private market neither. I can't remember the last time I've heard of them selling something out privately. Cheers, Padraig. There's a documentary on it on YouTube. Oh, is there? What's the name of the documentary, then? If you remember it off the top of your head. Sorry, guys, my phone is beeping. Yes, then live stream is on tonight. What is wrong with my phone? It's just gone absolutely bloopers. Sending me notifications of messages that have been sent at 1 o'clock today. So, right, that's that done. I will email you. Perfect, yes. Sorry, lads, did I miss a regular question? That was about the new rule of the Born in Germany, wasn't it? I don't know. I don't know what documentary lads talk. Yeah, perfect. Green Rifle or Rifle Greens. Email me. More than happy, and obviously, it's good to learn. The Luftwaffe held on to the MiG-29 for a while. Finland bought all of the DDR LTLBs to get sold. Type East German Army it's the old one, if you remember. I look for it and send it on to you. WhatsApp. Perfect, man. Perfect. I have Luftwaffe. Luftwaffe. Right, boys. It is 21:26. So, just to recap on what's coming up. There is a video coming up on Sunday. Northern Ireland Troubles. It'll because people have been asking. That seems to be what people like. So we'll do another one of those videos. I'll probably give it a break. There'll be a live stream again on Friday. I will try and put up a video between Sunday's video and the live stream as well, because people seem to enjoy that too as well. So that would be good. Then there will be a video up on Sunday. The video, not the one for this weekend, but the one for the following weekend, won't be up banner related, and it is a surprise, and I have it planned out, so you'll have to wait and see. So we'll just cover the last few questions. I know someone who has an RUC NATO jumper still in plastic. Dave, or who's that? Rifle Green, please email me, because I know how hard they are to start finding them. Finland, the one Euro country which maintains good relations with Russia. Would it be the one? I suppose Sweden. Sweden wouldn't have a bad diplomacy with Russia as well. I don't know. Podrick on NATO was about what happened after Germany became one again. East Germans took the NVA apart. I will WhatsApp John if I find it. Perfect, that's perfect. So, guys, as always, I'm going logging off here now at 9:30. Stay safe, look after yourselves, and tune in for the next video. And I will see you next week at 8 o'clock on Friday night. But you will see me in between in a few videos. Okay? So have a good one. Later, guys. Have been a joy to all. Take care. Goodbye. Okay, let's talk to you soon. Let's talk to you later, lads. Have a good one.